How's everybody going today? How's everybody doing today? Got for the first time here. oh, For the first time here, we're gonna have a little bit of a some rain in the background. It's actually kind of pouring, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. But we have some guests today, so I'm gonna bring them in. We got AM Plus Money, who's the title says it. He's about the plus money. So he's going to be joining us some Thursdays, some Mondays, all kinds of stuff. There's, all kinds of stuff going on, with the Nations League and all these games in the summer. So thanks for joining us today for a little bit. And we got our guy Agnes here. Oh, hold on. Can you just come over here? He's sitting next to me. He's like literally right here. So I'm just going to have him join the stream here. Yeah, I'm just going to have him join right here. Yeah, because we got the echo here. I didn't think about that. We already had a problem with the echo once. So that's Agnew. He's over here. And he's going to talk a little bit about some of the parlays he's hit. He's hit a bunch of them. So first, make sure we got your liking, subscribing, ringing the bell. Every day you'll be able to watch all these different shows, Max Wagers Network. If you follow the Total Chaos, you saw AM Plus Money last week on that as well in the soccer edition on Friday night. So that was pretty cool. We do a lot of different stuff. We do some Formula One shows and everything. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, ringing the bell. Remember, I'm on tomorrow night on ESPN Radio New York, soon to be in Los Angeles, Chicago, some of these other cities. Friday night, 12 o'clock Eastern time at night. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. And then during football season, it's a little different. It's multiple shows. Make sure we got 6 hours of great info here. So make sure you're following Midday Money, Sean Higgs, Allie Burns, Morning Wood, Just Parlays with Chris King, Back to the Window, Scott. 4 o'clock, it's me. 5 o'clock, Game Time Decisions, Nick, Tim, and Lenny. So if we get sucked up into a tornado here in the middle of this storm cell, AM, you got it, man. You got the show for the rest of the time. And, I'll try to, when I land here, I will try to jump back in, but we have the Caesar Sportsbook promotion, $1,100 first bet insurance, wager up to $1,100 first bet. If you lose, you must use promo code ATS wins CZR. I used a couple examples. If you bet Real Madrid like we both told you on Friday night to take Real Madrid at plus 270. I'm not going to say it too much because Agnew's a Liverpool fan. But we both of us right here told you to take him at plus 270. So if you took that $1,100 at plus 270, you got a lot of money back. So there's a lot of opportunities to do that. All right. So, it's interesting. We talked yesterday about, we've been talking about I talk about the NRL, the rugby league from Australia and the team I said to take 132.6. So a lot of people won some money on that. I got the game today. There's all kinds of money to be made here. I mean, are you kind of the philosophy? I mean, both of you two, whoever wants to talk first, there's always kind of money to be made, depending. I mean, I know for you, you spent a lot of money or spent a lot of time during the pandemic talking about the Nicaraguan league. And it's soccer just like everything else. I mean, it's maybe not the same level, but is there always some money to be made in these leagues?
Oh, yeah. That's the beauty of betting the soccer. And even really, if you can find any angle in any sport, I don't want to call soccer a small sport. I mean, smaller sports, like I've found stuff in volleyball, sometimes even badminton. I'm a big tennis bettor, but yeah, definitely with soccer, especially with these leagues all around the world, like the bookmakers aren't paying attention to some of these smaller leagues. It's very easy to find very good value on some of this. You just have to pick your spots and look for the right line.
Yeah, and Agnew, I know as someone who's been able to win some. Last week you're showing me, or Monday you're showing me a bunch of the parlays that you won. With some basketball and soccer. I mean, you kind of try to go into some of these deeper leagues, I think, right?
Yeah. I've been playing like a lot of leagues with both soccer and NBA, so I'm here to bring that on.
All right, cool. Yeah, so you see Bill already, Bill McDonald. LJ says hi. I won with Brazil and the Tigers. Yeah, Brazil. It's tough to get around Brazil at this World Cup as favorites. They're really good, but it's Brazil, so sometimes you got to take them with a grain of salt. I know people are jumping on Argentina now because of that game yesterday, that glorified friendly, but it is what it is. He's on Greece, Sweden, Spain, and the Yankees. I know Spain. I saw the goal Gavi scored. I guess he was inspired by PK hooking up with his mom. He went out there and played pretty well today, and he's on the Yankees. Swiss. I'm always the Swiss. They're really highly ranked all the time, and I don't think they're great, but it's just they're a weird team. Sometimes they win a lot of games, so they're pretty highly ranked. And then North Macedonia as well. But just want to pull this up here. I think for tomorrow, let's share the screen here. I mean, what are you focusing on tomorrow? Are you really just looking at the Nations League games right now? Before we'll get to the World Cup. The Wales-Ukraine game. But are you really just focused on the Nations League games right now?
Yeah, I'm a big international guy, so I really love when the international breaks come along. I know there's MLS. I think is it this weekend or there's some next weekend, but I know the MLS sometimes likes to run their schedule at the same time of these international breaks, but I'm more focused on the international for this weekend. That's the teams that are going to be playing most of their players. I have seen a few big names sitting out for some of the matches tomorrow. Like I know Thibaut Courtois is going to be sitting out for that Belgium match, which I was looking at the under in that one, but with him being out, because he played phenomenally in that Champions League final with him being out, I don't know if I would even want to touch the under. I have no faith in Casteels in that.
Yeah, and I know Agnew, you had Holland to score first. Do you have Holland to score or Holland to score first?
I have Holland to score
for Norway.
For Norway today it was plus 200.
Yeah, so Holland got the goal.
The first goal.
He got the first goal. They're up 1-0. You see the live betting here. They're up 1-0 on Serbia. The thing I like about the Nations League, but the thing that makes it also tougher to bet is, these teams are playing. They're all the same, like Spain and Portugal. They match them up in groups A, B, C, D. So the teams at the bottom are playing. The teams at the bottom to get these teams more wins and more exposure and stuff like this. So, these are a little bit tougher games to pick sometimes. Like. Usually when Kazakhstan is playing somebody, it's going to be, you're going to go against Kazakhstan or Azerbaijan. But, Kazakhstan's playing Azerbaijan and you look tomorrow at 10 a.m. I mean, that's a tough game to call, plus 170, plus 185, but there's good value. Latvia, Andorra. Is there any game, and that you're looking at right here to focusing other than I know that we talked about the Belgium or any of the early games? I know there's, a chance. First, let me ask you this. Are you of the philosophy, because like some of the NFL bettors will say, I have to bet a 1 p.m. game. I have to bet a 4:15. I have to bet. Are you just trying to find value at any time on the schedule that day?
No, not necessarily. Like if I don't think, like for example, tomorrow, the Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, I have no interest in that match. I agree. I love the Nations League, how they match up the team so great, because you're never going to get someone like an England versus Faroe Islands where it's just going to be like 8-2 or something ridiculous like that. But I love how they match them up here. And I'm not necessarily looking for an angle at every hour. I just, whatever is good on the board that day, I want to go with my best feel on the picks for sure.
Are you the same way? Are you trying to find a game here?
Yeah, I already got some set up for tomorrow. I got about 6 parlays set up for tomorrow. But 16th parlay
16 parlay?
Like 6 teams.
Oh wow. Okay. Are you doing? I see your notes here. You're doing some U21 games. I think we're going to talk about this after the Nations League as well. I talked a little bit about the U21s yesterday, specifically because I mean when you see these games are tough to call some of them. I like France tomorrow. We'll get I do like France in this game. They could play their C team and they're better than any team in the world at this point. I might take a chance here at minus 0.75. But the U21s, which we'll get to, I think it's a little bit easier because those teams, like if some of the smaller countries, if you're any good at 21, you're in the national team. You're not in the U21 team. So you're playing, a team against like France where they're loaded at the level, and they just won the U17s. They're going to win the U19s. Is that something? Do you kind of like to do those games as well, the U21s, to see if you can find some value?
So personally, I'm not a fan of the U21s just because I've always been iffy, even in the American markets. Like I'll bet college sports, but I don't bet heavily on college sports. It's just something I feel uncomfortable about trusting a kid with.
Too unpredictable. Right. Yeah. Sometimes the kid's suspended for missing curfew or something like this, or you don't have to put that in the pros.
And I see these college basketball games where like a team is favored by like 12.5 points. They lose the game outright. Everybody's getting mad because they were supposed to win, but it's like at the same time you're putting your faith in these kids that are not even 20 years old, and like it's just tough for me. Like I bet on Corey Goff to win her tennis match in 2 sets today, and even then I was very hesitant on the bet because she's only 18 years old, but she's been playing since she's 16, and that was it was hard for me to bet it, but I just had to trust my gut on that one. But yeah, like very rarely, I don't like to bet the younger kids.
So, Agnew, what's the parlay you got? The 6-teamer. You got some Nations League. I saw.
Yeah, I have 2 Nations League tomorrow. I go France to win.
Yep.
And I go Latvia to win.
Yeah. France and Latvia, and then are the rest in the U21s?
The rest I went to the U21.
Okay, so we got that. I'm gonna see what this is looking like a plus money play here, for everybody watching here. I think we're gonna be getting a plus money. Might be a thing. And what are the games at the U21 level? You got Netherlands.
I went Netherlands because Netherlands have 71% of over. Because
Netherlands over 2.5.
Over 2.5. They win 2.5 in 7 of their last 9 games.
Okay.
They went 2.5, and they're playing like a.
They're playing Moldova.
The line
is minus 1667.
And then Germany U21.
Just Germany U21 over 2.5.
Over 2.5.
Okay.
They won the last 8 games. 8 games. They won 2.5 in our last 8 out of 9 games. So they went at 88%. And I went Spain over 2.5 U21.
Spain over 2.5 or Spain money line?
Spain over 2.5.
Okay. Over 2.5.
Over 2.5. They went 75%.
Okay.
And then I went England U21.
England U21?
Yes.
Lost that. Just what
over 2.5.
Okay, so you like the overs tomorrow.
I like the overs tomorrow for them. Yes.
You like the England over or the game over?
The game over.
Okay, the game over. Yeah. And then that's
the one I got for tomorrow.
So that's a plus 1,000 plus 1009 parlay, 16 parlay. And you hit the ones on Monday. They were what? One was plus 5, plus 483. So he had a plus 483 on over 2.5 goals. He likes the overs in a couple games, and then a bunch of games in Norway. So that was 85 won 496. Yeah. So basically, and then in the NBA, 100 won, a plus 602 on Tatum, Butler, Brown, Tatum, Bam, and Tatum to do these things. This kid here, I don't know. He helped me move on Monday, so he was on the show a little bit. But everybody told me he's the parlay king. So if you can get value of plus 109, plus 1009, plus 1,000, are you trying to jump on stuff like that? You're the plus money king. Is that like when you build your parlays for plus money? Are you looking for plus money games? Hey! Are you looking for there's LJ Bill? Are you looking for plus money games?
Hey. When I build a parlay, I tend to do them for favorites, because any favorite I like, but I found the line was too juiced for me to single bet it, I would like to throw it in a parlay. So I look for those kind of angles. Yeah. If it's plus money, I tend to just bet on it straight up like that. Right. No problem with that.
So you're trying to find that, like, PSG.
Hi, Bill.
PSG, Chelsea. Hey, Bill. Hold on one second. You're trying to find PSG, Chelsea, like games like that where it's minus 286 and getting them two teams or three teams together. But that's my philosophy. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah. So Bill,
I definitely want to be careful. You got to pick your spots, of course, because sometimes these teams they don't play well when they're supposed to, and you gotta be on top, especially with those heavy favorites for the parlays. I'm always trying to be on top of, like, I want to know exactly who's in the lineup before I bet it, all this stuff, and I want to know everything. Like, is this team they have a reason to win this match? Are they going to come to play today? Are they going to think they can just walk over this team?
Right. I think the thing with soccer more so, talking to this about, and Bill, by the way, it's the game totals 2.5, not the team totals, the game totals. So that's what 6-team parlay. LJ said, I think LJ likes the Celtics, but I think you said the Warriors. So maybe we'll go with Warriors. I'll ask him afterwards. Are you when you're trying to do this? What are you soccer right now? I know you're an NFL guy too, I think, right? During the fall.
I do all sports, really. I'm a big hockey guy because I'm Canadian too. So big on the hockey up here for sure. But yeah, I love football. My team is the Cardinals. They're complete garbage. But
my man Luke is watching in Poland. He's watching in southern Poland. He's a big Cardinals fan, but he's mad at Kyler Murray.
Oh, I honestly, man, he needs to get to practice. Like, he's not a leader on that team at all.
Yeah, it's weird with him because you think he would start doing some of this stuff. I mean, I don't know. I thought he would be. You see some of these U21s. You gave you France yesterday 2-0. Poland up 5-0, which is ridiculous.
Right.
I think it's weird. I had Arizona and Philadelphia as like my two teams to watch last year as like the overs. I just thought both teams were going to be pretty good last year, and I thought like the Eagles with the I think their over was like 6.5. I'm like 7, whatever. Your 7-10 was still over, and 7-10 is not even that good of a record, and they ended up being pretty good. So, are you starting to look at any of that stuff now, or are you really just focused right now on soccer to finish the year here?
Yeah, I'm focused more on the soccer to finish the year off because I've been, for the American sports, I've been looking a lot into the NHL playoffs, really. Like, I was on the Rangers last night, and I'm on the Oilers tonight. So if anybody's looking for a hockey bet, I think it's a perfect spot for the Oilers tonight.
After that 8-6 game the other night, and they got
what? They almost won that game. Oh, yeah, that goal. Yeah. That goal was definitely onside. I've never heard of no rule where you push the puck in and because he's not touching it. Like, that was so garbage. They're just finding ways now. But I definitely think
a lot of goals like that this weekend.
So many like that in every sport too. Like, I just find the reffing has gone downhill over the past 2 years. Like, I was never a fan of like switching to robo umps and robot referees and stuff like that. But after what I've seen, like, some of these calls have just been awful. Like, they're digging their own grave at this point. The referees.
The Benzema goal. I mean, first of all, if you're gonna say he's off, first of all, it took 5 minutes. If you have to look at the call for 5 minutes, it should be a goal. Second of all, he got wiped out. Like he got absolutely demolished by two guys, and the ball came off Fabinho. Like if you have to look at it for that long, it should be a goal. Like that's why UEFA and some of these leagues with VAR do it right, I think, because they only look. The Premier League, every call is like it's all drama. They know they're on TV. It's all about the drama and the TV and all this stuff. It's like theater. The Premier League's like theater at this point. But I thought they got it right. But then it's a Champions League final, and it took like five minutes. It's so crazy. If it has to take that long to figure out if it's a goal or not, it should be a goal. But, same thing with hockey. I mean, there's been some calls in these games. The Calgary game last week, and there's been some really dodgy calls. I don't know. It's been crazy. So Bill's asking if there's any money line plus money looks for tomorrow. So I mean that hockey game is got to be the Oilers have to be plus money here, right?
Yeah, so that one's actually tonight, but they're like plus 145, plus 150. I know now I don't know if that's dropped because they recently announced their backup goalie Frank Hughes is going to be starting. But I thought whether it was Kemper or Frank Hughes, Kemper in the last game, like he's still dealing with his eye injury. Now he's got an upper body injury, and he pulled himself from that during a commercial. He went up to the bench and said, "I can't continue. You got to take me out." So then you have Frank Hughes, who I don't think he's that great, especially like Kemper's not great, but Kemper's a step up than Frank Hughes, I think. And also with Frank Hughes, Jay Woodcroft, the coach for the Oilers, knows him very well from their days in the AHL together. So like you got a team that they just lost, but they lost 8-6, empty net goal. That game could have easily been 7-7, could have been 6-6 if maybe they allowed that onside, but which I still think was onside. But yeah, if they allowed it, that's a tied game. They were up 7-3 Colorado, and they blew that lead. That's a 7-6 game with 3 minutes to go. Like the Oilers can score. That's not an issue. They've scored 5 goals in, I think, 6 of their last 7 games or something like this. And the same thing happened in the Calgary series. They lost the first game 9-6 and then won 4 straight against them. So I think I used to play goalie too in hockey. So I watch a lot with the goaltending. I thought it was a bad spot for the Avalanche. I think Frank Hughes is going to get lit up by the Oilers scorers tonight. And whether Koskinen is in that, I mean, he played great when he came out, but if they stick with Mike Smith, I think he'll bounce back. The guy won gold medals for Team Canada. Like, I know he's 40 years old, but he's very experienced and seasoned, and he'll bounce back from this game. So I just think it's a big spot for the Oilers for sure tonight.
Let me ask you a question. So, when you're playing these games, if you're on the Oilers, would you take a shot on the regular time 3-way at plus 230? Are you thinking they're going to win in regulation and get a little bit more value, or would you just play them straight up at plus 155 on the money line?
I would never tell people to play this themselves, but I do like to take risks like that. And I actually am on the minus 1.5 for the Oilers tonight. I think it's going to be a 6-3 game. I think it's going to be an absolute just slosh. Like I get Colorado's Colorado, but like if you watch them play St. Louis, they really struggled in that series, and they could have easily been going to Game 7 if they don't score with 4 seconds left to send St. Louis home. Like St. Louis looked like they had mailed it in that last minute, and they were just trying to get the game to overtime at that point. So they got very lucky, I think, the Avalanche in that game. And yeah, I'm expecting like Oilers to even the series up for sure tonight. Like there's no way I see that. And even look at the team total, 3.5 for the Oilers. They've been scoring like 5 or more goals in most of their games over the last 7 or 8, something like that. But still, like the team total over 3.5, I think is plus 120. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm on that too.
Yeah, exactly. Over 3.5 here, plus 135. And, over 3, the push is minus 118. So, I mean, even, you think, and they just scored all those goals. You think they're going to score 3 here. So,
and they've shown they don't slow down after those kind of games.
Yeah, definitely. So, Bill, I wouldn't bet against the Avs. Was thinking about taking the over again. I just, when you look at some of these games here, 6-3, this game in April 9th was a little bit low scoring 2-1, but, there's been 5 goals, 6, 9 goals, 14 goals in some of this. So, did you look at the NBA game at all? You have any interest in that game tonight?
So I kind of like stopped watching the NBA playoffs because to me it was getting so wacky. Like there was no close games for a little bit of a stretch. It was just like one team wins 20 points and then the next team wins by 20 points.
The Celtics Heat series, the only game that was close was Game 7, and it wasn't even really that close. It ended up close, but the host, I feel like they just made it close because they were like, every game was a blowout. It was crazy.
Yeah, so when I see stuff like that, I'm like, who knows what's going to happen, right? So I don't even want to touch games like that. Personally, I think Golden State's going to win the series. I'm going to be on Golden State tonight, maybe the -3.5. But again, just like betting on college stuff, I get weary betting on the NBA playoffs now after that first round, and from what I've seen in the second round and stuff, just. Yeah, not the biggest fan right now. Actually, I'm more into the WNBA. And if you want a basketball player from me, take the Las Vegas Aces -4.5. They just beat the Sun, I think 2 days ago at home, and they won that game by 9 or 8. I think it was 89-81, 8 points. But there was a small time in the first quarter they were trailing in that game, and then once they took the lead, they never gave it back, and they were up by like 20 points at one point, and it was on the Sun to start to come back in that game.
There you go, Las Vegas Aces. I know you have to go. Do you have any other soccer games you're looking at for tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure. I'll just spit out a few here. So let me just pull it up right here. I just had it. All right. Yes.
Bill says Portugal just tied it up, so that's 1-1.
Yeah, today was kind of disappointing for me. I had Israel, and I'm surprised Iceland's beating them right now. And then I was eyeing the Czech Republic because I thought the line was off. I thought they should have been the favorite, and stayed off that one and got burned for it. So, Israel just tied it though. So it's never dead. Just 5 minutes left.
These Nations League games, especially the first one, they're so tough because you see Czech Republic's up 2-1 on Switzerland. So it's Iceland, 2. They're really tough to. You just don't know who's going to win the game.
I was even going to play the over in that Israel game, but I thought that. Like I started to lean under because I know Iceland away from home, they love to play that 5 defense, crowd the box. It's like impossible to score on them when they do that.
Yeah. All right. So which games did you have?
Yes. So for tomorrow, I was just I mentioned the Belgium-Netherlands game. I was looking at the over in that one just because Courtois is out. So I don't trust the goaltending for Belgium. Netherlands got a nasty team. They've been playing well lately too. Like they haven't lost, I think, in their last 9 or something. A lot of wins racked up to 8 of their last 9, I think, were wins. But they've been playing good. They've been playing defense pretty good too. But Belgium, I love this Belgium team. I'm a big fan of the Belgium. I'm Italian, but my team is just complete garbage. I've grown to love this Belgium team so much. I love the players on their team. Personally, I think Lukaku is one of the best strikers on the planet, especially when he was playing much better a year or two ago. But I definitely think they're going to be forced to go on the attack here just because I don't think their goaltending is going to be that great in the game. And I think there's going to be goals. Netherlands can score. Belgium can score. I could see that one going over. Then this Croatian-Austria game. I was eyeing the under in that one, but I know Croatia likes to play a more defensive game at home, and Austria's been complete trash on the road. I think they've lost 4 of their last 5, but Croatia might be the look at home as well. They've been playing very well in their home matches, so I could see that one being a win. But yeah, I don't know what your thoughts on those two were.
I just Belgium, Netherlands, I just don't trust either team. I think there'll be goals. Like I agree with you. I think there'll be goals in that game. I wouldn't trust either team to win that game. There's just so it's just all over the place. I know, they both have talent. I just when you start to look at these, and I do like Croatia. When you look at these, these futures for the World Cup, I mean, you see, Belgium and Netherlands are right there at plus 1,400, really in that kind of, right before that. Then the drop off, Portugal, these odds have changed. Portugal, Belgium, Netherlands at plus 1,400. No one below Portugal can win this tournament. Absolutely no one. But they're just, I don't know. They're just both all over the place. Sometimes they should. The fact that this Belgian team hasn't won anything in the last 6 years it bothers me. But there's, once again, it's so hard to win stuff now. Everybody's really good. So, but I do like that Croatia game, and I think I do like the over in that Belgium Netherlands game. So, so I think you have to go cook, right?
Yeah, I got to go feed some people here, but I'll spit out two more before I go. I agree totally with the France play. I think they'll probably win at home against Denmark. They've been playing well, and I can see there being goals in that one. So I do like the over in that one as well. Both teams have been scoring a lot. So I think that game is going to have goals. And also one I was looking at was Germany to beat Italy, just because Italy has been so pathetic. They're my team, so I watched them close, obvious. But to miss the World Cup, win the Euro Cup, and then miss the World Cup again, ridiculous. And in the manner that they did it, to lose in their own country to North Macedonia with a late goal, and then watch North Macedonia get destroyed by Portugal in the next match. It's just pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. And I think this Italian team just lost 3-0 to Argentina the other day.
Yeah, they were terrible yesterday. And this team, I mean, the fact, I don't know how they won the Euros, to be honest. I think that's more on England blowing it and some of these other teams. But, they did. They won it. And,
I'll tell you how. Donnarumma, that's how they won it. He was playing on his head that tournament. The whole team was playing well then. I don't know what happened. They always do this in World Cup qualifying where they get lazy and they play defense.
They don't have that one guy that's going to score. They don't have that one guy like Benzema or Mbappe.
Yeah, no, they don't have a striker.
France or Lukaku or it's kind of the reason I don't like the USA to do. I think they'll be okay in the World Cup, but there's not that guy.
Like Immobile would be their best striker probably, and he's he's on Lazio for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they just don't score enough goals, and I mean, I know just the way they play. There was a couple of those games. I mean, to be honest, they could have been out in the it was the round of 16 of the quarterfinals because they hadn't lost, and then all of a sudden they were in extra time in that one game, and they could have been out in that game. But it's. Yeah, they haven't been very good, and you can get Germany tomorrow at plus 143, so that's interesting. So.
Yeah, and I don't think Germany was playing that well during the Euro Cup. They were awful. They had defensive, it's just holes everywhere. Their team was falling apart, and I think a lot of it had to do with the management of it. But they've been playing very well now. It looks like they've gotten back on track. They've figured things out. So I think for sure, it doesn't matter where that match is. Italy has just been awful, and as an Italian from Toronto, I've had to watch them a lot over the years. I know this team well. And honestly, all I've heard from friends and family is comparison to the Leafs. Pass, no shoot. And that's exactly what Italy's going to do. They're going to pass tomorrow. They get 2 shots on net, and they're going to let Germany just cut them open.
Yeah, I don't know. They drive me nuts.
Imagine being Italian.
Yeah. I don't really, I'm a France fan, if you could say that. I like watching France play.
Well, I'm a Belgian fan, right? Because I love Lukaku. He's my favorite player.
Exactly. So I don't have to worry about it. But, so I think you're going to be on next week. You'll be on. He might be on Monday, or you'll probably be on Monday. You'll be on. He's going to be on. There's a lot of games next week in the Nations League, so we'll see more of him. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I had a great time.
All right. Have a good day.
You too. Look forward to more shows with you.
All right. So AM plus money. He's a big plus money guy. So Bill Agnew, we're going to repeat Agnew's mix. It's a little bit of a mix here. Can you repeat Agnew's U21 parlay? So it's a little bit of a mix between, he likes France money line in the Nations League, Latvia money line, and then in the U21 games, over 2.5 for Netherlands, over 2.5 in Germany game, over 2.5 in Spain, and over 2.5 in England. All just game totals, not team totals. Maybe team total. Do you think some of these teams are going to score? Let's actually. So that pays 6-teamer plays plus 109. So Bill, here it is right here. Your parlay odds might be a little bit different, but those are the games right there. And let me just take a look at some of these games because I think sometimes. Let's look at the England game for one. Let's see if we can get this. So, do you think England over 1.5? England scores goals. I mean, you're expecting England to probably score the bulk of the goals here, right?
Yeah, at least England can score at least 2 goals in that.
So this over 1.5, Bill, might be a decent play here at minus 122 because England's got to score 2 there for it to cover. Plus 280 on England over 2.5 goals for themselves. Maybe you get a little.
And the thing is, most of the teams I pick in the U21, a lot of them have the players to do those things. You're
not picking you're picking better teams. These guys that are well-known players.
Yes, that were well-known players. Like Spain. Spain got some Barcelona starters that's able enough to score against
Northern Ireland. And you see, I mean, most of these, if Northern Ireland, if you're any good in Northern, sorry, Dan, for this about to be Northern Ireland slander here, but listen, if you're any good on Northern Ireland at 20 years old, you're in the senior team. You're not playing. Yeah. I think Dan was in the setup a couple years ago and U21s and. He's outscoring 4 and 5 goals and 5 aside here now. He's not playing in the national team. So, but over 2.5 goals, you see over 1.5 is at minus 335. So they're expecting some goals here. So to me, when you look at
you see that lineup,
England's lineup here, you got Balogun, who Arsenal, Morgan Gibbs-White, Curtis Jones. Livramento, who's a beast, James Garner, who's a beast, Madueke. I mean, they got some good players in this team. So over 2.5 on Spain is plus 105. So, the game over 2.5 is 182. So they're expecting the bulk of those, to come from Spain. To be honest, you might be able to just say, I don't want to thing, this is probably safe for over 2.5, but you could probably go here over 2.5 for Spain, and now your parlay's at 1367. Now, Bill wants to know: do you play these individually, or do you mostly just do parlay? Or do you sometimes? Will you do some like round robin parlays, or you just usually try to hit bigger parlays?
I just try to hit parlays, and then sometimes I just do it individually.
Now, will you take, let's see, like round robins? Will you do like, let me just take 2 of these. Let me just take 4 of these down real quickly. So you got this, this parlay over. I took that Spain. Let me just take that, put it back in what it was. Over 2.5, England over 2.5, Spain. Where it's minus 141 and minus 182. Will you do sometimes break it into smaller parlays like this, plus 165 to be able to? Okay. Yeah. So, Bill, I mean, I think, maybe you can, I'm not, I know, Bill, you take some of these games. I don't know if you'll bet, minus 182. I don't know if you're about to lay 182. Like for that game, if you're going to lay over 2.5 minus 182, you're almost better off laying Spain 18 plus 105 at 2.5. So, you can kind of do that. So, but yeah, there's definitely a couple ways to do that. Did you have any other plays for the weekend? Are you looking at the weekend yet, or are you really just focused on?
I just do day by day. Yeah, I just kind of do the next day.
Yeah, I I don't know, Bill. I don't know how you are or whoever else is watching here. Is Latino Cipital. Thank you for the like. Remember, like, subscribe, ring the bell. LJ's over here telling you, he's begging you, like, subscribe. Especially on the weekends. One of my friends would play. A couple of the people on Twitter that I follow, they would play these. They would release like value plays. He's a big plus money guy. Like, he would look for like maybe a team that was plus money and bet them like -1 at like plus 600. Like, he thought, an underdog could win the game, right? But he's looking like 2 or 3 weeks out to get the value, right? Because as the game gets closer, the value line goes down. Bill, I don't lay more than -150. Yeah, that's, what, when you can do like, I just picked the 2 games, England and Spain. Maybe the other games are better, France to win or whatever it is. Like, that's why sometimes the round robins are good, when you do those 6 teams. But the problem is you're doing 15. If you're doing every one at $20, you're laying out $300, but you can win 15 different plays. So there's, it's pretty cool to do that. But I know most of the people are really just looking, the next day and the weekend.
It's kind of always to do it, especially with soccer. It's good to do next day because injuries. Anybody could get injured, and some we in the big COVID time too. Somebody could get COVID and all this different stuff. So it's better. It's just better to do it like the next day, so that way if somebody not playing, that you could know the lineup and things like that. So usually people know the lineup after that press conference, and then they know injuries and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I do it day by day, because injuries get crazy nowadays and COVID and all that. So like today, they will go into the press conference and then they'll figure out, okay, the coaches will
tell you
say if somebody injured or not, and then you could just go from there, and then the line moves as well. So
I think the one thing about soccer and European football or whatever you call it is, you have, baseball, you pretty much know who the starter is unless the game gets rained out, right? They list the starter, but you don't know who the lineup is going to be right until before the game. Football, same thing. They have the injury report, and hockey, whatever. Well, soccer, the lineups change.
Right.
So, some of these, we're giving you plays here, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, man, this guy's not in the lineup. You see the lineup an hour before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, soccer is more like, I don't even think it's like day to day.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like hour to hour. You're kind of looking. I was thinking about the first half over 104.5 for the Celtics Golden State Warrior game. So France, Belgium, and Latvia are the money line plays. Yes, France. Did you like Belgium? The other guy liked Belgium in that game.
But I like the goals over for Belgium game. I don't like nobody to win.
Emily, the people want to know what your play is tonight on the game. What is the play on the tonight? Golden State or Golden State or Celtics? The line is 4. Golden State is favored by 4, and it's in wherever, San Francisco. Celtics. There you go, Bill. Celtics. So in that parlay, I think it was. I'm just gonna pull this up again. Let me just go back and do these. So we're gonna do. Agnew's parlay was, Latvia, France, and then over in the England, which is up, Spain, Germany, over 2.5, and then Netherlands game, So the Netherlands U21 game, just to be clear about that. Where is it? Against Moldova. So that's the parlay there for the day. Yeah, look, I agree. Parlaying soccer plus monies add up quickly. And it's not even plus monies. Look at these lines, minus 141, right, minus 182. You know, here's the thing. I'm going to take these out. I'm going to take out the games that are under minus 200. Look at that. Minus 225, minus 286, minus 360, plus 151, right? You know, take out Latvia. Minus 286, minus 660 is minus 139. So it's still pretty decent odds, right? So yeah, it definitely does add up. So we will take that down. All right. So make sure you got to play on the game tonight, the basketball.
I just go for players. I'll go for I gotta
props.
I go for parlays as well, and then I do like player props. I'm looking at Jason Tatum 6 assists, and I'm looking at his 25 points, and I'm also looking at Steph Curry 20 points and 3 threes.
All right, let's see what we got here. So we got player specials. Jaylen Brown.
You know, the thing is, when I'm betting soccer, I bet on FanDuel.
Okay. So FanDuel has because it's got the parlay builder.
Yeah, the parlay builder, and you could like bring the player points down and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can move the line.
Yeah, move the line. Yeah.
All right. So just remember, you got the $1,100 first bet insurance. Place a wager up to $1,100. Get it back in the form of a free bet. If you lose, you must use our promo code HSWINSCZR. Links are in the show box below. Max Wagers Network, 6 hours of great info. You have to like and subscribe and ring the bell. We got you the win today on that NRL game. Hey, my man, I got a text. He better give me a shout out here. I got him a win last night. Adam Rajinski got you a win in the NRL, and then you never got back, man. You never got back. I said you want to come on and talk about the NRL, man. Remember, you can listen to my show tomorrow night, and we will be. Thanks. Yeah, parlays are killer. Nah, yeah. Look, Bill, I think like. I get mad. I win 3 out of 4, and I'm like, man, I almost had it. But, instead of playing that 2-teamer and be a little safer. LJ, Bill wants to know who you like today, Warriors or Celtics? Celtics? Your mom likes Celtics. To win or just to cover the line?
What?
The line is 4. To win or to cover?
Win.
It's tonight. He likes Bill. He likes the Celtics to win. LJ likes the Celtics to win.
What game was tonight?
Yeah, tonight, man. He likes the Celtics to win on the road. All right, there you go.
No, the Celtics won nothing.
No, it starts tonight.
No.
It starts tonight.
No.
All right, Bill. Celtics said he said the Celtics are up 1-0, so I guess that's a lock. So, all right, thanks for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.